Okay, I have something pretty incredible to talk to you about today. Now, we're going to talk about breakthrough fear because we've got some time here before something really big happens. And the only reason I say that because you know that I empower you to create our future, to participate in which one you want to participate in. It's not going to be everyone. It is an individual choice. But as a collective, we have some great power. And there is an alignment happening in 2026 of spring. This has been showing up way too many times to be a coincidence. So I looked some things up about this alignment that's happening in spring of 2026. We have etheric beings speaking of this, astrological charts. We have people that I found 13 years ago that talked about this. And I want to share it with you. It has to do with this alignment in 2026 spring, and it is totally astrological, and I'm going to tell you the meaning of it. You are going to love this. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Are you ready for this? Woo-wee, I got a good one today. Let's just recap a few things. First of all, I hope you'll subscribe. I want to get this message out to as many people as possible. And if you have read my book, Breakthrough Fear, this is relevant to what we're going to talk about today, and the reason why that book was channeled to me, information downloaded to me at crazy hours for months and months. I got it out to the public. I was told this had to go out. I got it out, and now we're going into everything I talk about in that book. And if you read the book, it's going to blow your mind because you're going to realize we're going into something so powerful right now. And so I am here to guide you to the possibilities and probabilities that you get to choose. And what we're going into right now has everything to do with your personal choice, and everything's aligned for us to do amazing things. Why? We've gone into consciousness, a higher consciousness. Not everybody has. It's a choice. First of all, again, I hope you'll read the book because it explains so much about what's happening now, and we're going into what I call the knowing. And that is a consciousness that 2026, and I'm going to share this with you about the astrological alignment and what it actually means and how you can prepare for it right now. And it's going to take a real mind shift for some of you who are still separating, judging, pointing fingers, in anxiety, believing you shouldn't be here, you want to get off this planet. You will, trust me, everybody does. Or that there's a hell somewhere. Somebody mentioned that. I said, everything's a choice and experience. You cannot make a mistake, all right? But I know that you came here because you wanted to go into that unbelievable opportunity to experience something unlike anything that has ever happened on this planet, and we're going into it now. And it's not the end, but it is a huge turning point. So let's get started. So, as you know, I talk about a gentleman called Chris Bledsoe. He was abducted maybe about 18 years ago. Him and his son, him in particular, who had 4 hours of missing time on a fishing trip. He was in a great deep depression, went off in the woods, praying to God, and these orbs, huge glowing orbs that appeared to be craft. Again, we talk about the interdimensions. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second too. I've done videos on this. Everything's crossing over. There's no material world and then spirit world. Everything is one thing. These orbs are intelligent beings, and they appeared. There were 3 of them. He had 4 hours of missing time, and his son had a couple hours. And everyone in that group saw these. In fact, they were petrified, and they were all trying to get home, trying to get around these things. Chris and his son get home, and Chris actually encounters an extraterrestrial who comes in a glowing orb and appears, of course, going interdimensional. This is all relevant to what we're going to talk about today. Interdimensional. We got to get our minds off of material world, spirit world, can't see it, doesn't exist. Everything exists. And so this interdimensional being said, don't be afraid, I'm here to help you. And so Chris has been the voice of what is coming, even though it's cost him a lot. Ridicule his whole family, you know. I was abducted, sure. Okay, crazy person, get the net out, right? But now people are realizing, wow, okay, there's something to this, especially since he calls in orbs all the time. They show up, all these interdimensional beings with other people. What is that? You can't fake that stuff, right? This isn't a magic trick. So we're realizing there are other things showing up more and more for us. Well, he was ready to quit because he was getting so much flack from everybody. And he said, I'm done. I'm not sharing this information with everybody. He was supposed to be the voice of what is to come. So this beautiful woman shows up to him, and she's appeared, I think, twice. And he went into this other realm, and she shared with him that, I always say this reminds me of Monty Python. When the red star Regulus aligns with the Sphinx before sunrise in April of 2026, by the way, she keeps showing up at Easter time. That seems to be a relevant time. You know why? It's not Easter that's so relevant. It's the equinox, the spring equinox. It only happens twice a year, the spring and the fall. And she said in 2026, a new knowledge will be known to the world. Not everyone's going to experience it because it has to be accepted by you, right? And that the feminine aspects of what we are comes in. Well, we know the feminine is very nurturing and peace-loving and caring. And so we've been very much into the masculine, what has been warring and separation. And so no offense, guys, it's not a male-female thing because we are all light beings. We are not any one thing. So I thought, why am I hearing more and more about 2026 being a big event? Now, 2024 to 2026, we're supposed to have some great challenges. I don't know about you, but some really weird things are going on. I've lost so many electronic things, including my camera. This is a new camera now. And my car just died, probably forever. And all these mechanical things are going down. I mean, we had just one thing after another, all in one day. One of it happened. Are you experiencing this? Everything has a vibration and a frequency. We are all electric, magnetic fields, and there's no ending. One of my students said, oh yeah, our energy goes about 10 feet. I said, no, there's no ending to our energy. We're all one thing, so we're connected. However, you have individual choice as to what you do between now and 2026. Now, here's what it means. So the Sphinx aligns with the sun on equinox, in the equinox 2 times a year, spring and fall. All right? That Sphinx and the pyramids are built so perfectly as a connection to what aligns, and that's energy. It creates opportunities. Right? If everything stayed the same, there would be no expansion or movement. But when they align, they open up opportunities for us for choices and evolution. All right? This is coming up is the 2 best times in 35 years that this alignment is going to happen, and it's 2026. The last time it happened, the Berlin Wall came down, and I don't know if you guys know this, but this is actually truth. Several UFOs, I don't know, 3 or 4 UFOs at that exact same time hovered over Belgium for 4 months. The military chased them, and yeah, good luck with that. And they blinked out and came back. For 4 months, these UFOs were seen by thousands of people over Belgium in that time period. It is now 35 years later, and we have the exact alignment. Now I'll share with you what's happening. The sun, the moon, Venus, Neptune, Uranus. What we used to say Uranus. I guess that sounds too weird, huh? Saturn, all join and are all conjunct, and the horizon at dawn in 2026 spring, this will be all in alignment. It represents physical manifestation of spiritual ideals. It is an opening of spirituality of a new era. The last time was 1989. That's the UFOs in the Berlin Mall. So Saturn joins with all this alignment, joins with Neptune, and creates an extreme opening of spiritual aspects of reality. Now, this is astrological readings. This is in alignment with anybody who studies this. The physical manifestation of spiritual ideals. Now, actually, no one person knows exactly what is going to happen. So when they talk about extreme opening, what's happening is we are going to go through an upheaval. And nobody wants to hear this, but hello, McFly, haven't we always been in upheaval? We've always had wars and crashes in finance and all kinds of stuff going on. You're going to see some great changes in that, because what's happening is there are going to be those who choose density. And I've received this information. You will have people that by choice want to experience density in a world of limitations. And so they create it. It's neither right nor wrong. There is no hell. No one goes off and, in the abyss forever, because we're one thing. So it's just a choice of experiences. And we gather information. We talk about orbs are part of energy. And somebody said, I think that orb is my grandma or whatever. I said, no, those orbs are just pure energy fields. What you're seeing is the accumulation of experiences and a gateway for your grandma to show herself to you through this light being. It's almost like a portal. And so that is a pure energy field when you see these orbs. We're seeing more and more and more of these. So it is said that when all of this aligns over the Sphinx, and by the way, so Chris Bledsoe doesn't even know what Regulus is. I didn't either. He looks it up and he finds out, yes, that is exactly when it's going to align. And so what is in the right paw of the Sphinx? It's supposedly the entrance to the Hall of Records. Now, Edgar Cayce predicted this. He said that the Hall of Records is in the Sphinx. And it's an entrance in the right paw, and they have not been able to open all of this. Nobody's been allowed to. They've researched it. And there's supposedly a back entrance on the back left side of the Sphinx also. It's possible, and everything aligns right with that on that date. It's possible, maybe it'll be revealed. No one knows what's really going to happen that day. Now here's what I want to share with you. No matter what happens out there, no matter what upheavals or changes, I have to go buy another car after 28 years, letting go of things, right? There are new beginnings, there are new choices, we cannot be attached to anything, because first of all, it's all illusion anyways, and the more you're attached to things, the more you remain in density here, which doesn't allow you to transition into that expansive space. And I'm talking about as you're still alive. We must give up, this is critical, shut down all negativity, all of it. YouTube's going to be loaded with, and it is, the fear. You cannot align with it, because if you focus at all with it, you're creating and fueling that energy field of negativity. Let's just talk the physical world. YouTube gets views. The algorithms say, oh, the public likes this. They give you more of that. And guess what? We create that dynamic. We create that reality with our focus. Your thoughts. You have to remain in positivity. The judgment is the worst. Being disrespectful or nasty to people, ask yourself why. Why you would speak a certain way, why you would look down on a homeless person, why you would blame somebody for some of the things that they do that aren't so nice. Let's face it, there's some density out there. They're coming from something else, that came from something else, and it's programming that is passed down, and we have to break the cycle. You are here to break the cycle. I came here to help people break their fear, because fear is what motivates people to do things that cause conflict. I'm not going to get enough. I'm going to, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I'm going to be hungry, or, my family's not going to have it. And then the hoarding, the conflict, the wars, all these things happen because of fear and ego. And ego always acts on fear. You have an opportunity right now. And in my book, I said, you've got to get your act together now. I predicted before COVID, I told you something huge was coming and get your house in order. I said it over and over again. Go watch those videos. I tell you something really huge is coming. I don't know what it was, but my message to everyone, including it was to you, get your house in order. And people say, what does that mean? You've got to clean all of it up. Use what you have if it's not toxic. Stop fueling and purchasing and supporting anything that's negative. Stop taking sides. Stop creating small groups that protect you and outcast everyone else. It is time to become a community. Now, everything you do, including how you earn money, I created digital explorers for you guys. And I have those of you who are struggling to break through fear. I have new stuff coming out. And I'm going to help you to get past that mentality. Your fear comes from programming. All of it does. You didn't create that yourself. You are not to blame. And so anything that you do, you blame people. They're doing this. Knock it off. Everyone is allowed their own choice. They are not a threat to you. Edgar Casey isn't. He was wrong about our future. If he was right, I'm in Florida, I'd be underwater right now. All of those predictions, by the way, are not cataclysmic. They're gradual. So these earth changes are not, Florida's not going to go underwater overnight. It will be gradual as the seas rise. This isn't the first time this has happened. We've had great changes on this planet way before we had fossil fuel vehicles, all right? She goes through cycles and changes herself, regardless, all right? She has a little bit of a wobble too. And so nothing stays the same. We are here to be challenged. We are here to excel and evolve into something much greater, because now we've experienced the depths of the darkness. We know what it is, which means we know what we are. We know that contrast. That's it. Don't overthink this. So you've got a couple years. We're getting really close. The thing is, I heard this whole thing on the astrology. What's really interesting, it was 13 years ago, and they were talking like it was happening. This next year, I realized, oh my gosh, they were talking about it 13 years ago, an astrologer. Now, those of you who are into the Bible, I have never read the Bible. I very much believe that it's super powerful, and Jesus was one of the most powerful prophets on the planet, a peacemaker. In Matthew 24, Jesus speaks in that. They speak of a time of trouble and that the return of Jesus will come. I don't know what that means. I don't believe it's the person. I think it's going to be a return of something magnificent. And what did he teach? He taught to judge no one, healing, peace, and love, right? I believe it is really a statement that whole era, not necessarily a person, is going to come into play, all right? I want you to know that everything you do is so important right now. You are equally important to everything. The grain of sand is equally important. The ant is equally important, because all life is creation of the one, all of it. It is not judged, it's equally loved. It's just an experience, and you get that choice. What are you going to choose right now? So get ready. We're going to talk more about this, but the astrological alignments, most powerful in 35 years. And I think we're going to see some extraterrestrials show up. And I talked about in my last video that everything is interdimensional. They're popping in and out of portals and dimensions, and we as human beings, we can't comprehend it, so we say it's crazy. We'll see how crazy it is. All things are possible. So if you are interested, Digital Explorers, we're creating planet-conscious businesses based on things we are in love with. We're passionate about it. We're creating entire businesses, real ones. I'm a former investment banker. I take you through step by step, and we decide what it is you really love and want to do. And my students have said, wow, I don't even know what to choose because I've never been taught to go after something I'm passionate about, and they're having a blast with it. And so many of them are sick and have quit their jobs. And if that's you and you are in a job and you're earning in a way that you can't stand, come get the training. We have business strategies. We put real businesses in place that you own. We have a strategy of how you're going to earn doing that. So instead of earning, destroying the planet, you will earn and help people. And money is not evil. It's powerful in a world where you can use it to assist the community and also yourself. No more struggle. There's nothing you cannot change in your life. There's nothing you cannot change in your life. And sometimes things happen that just don't make sense, my friend. Sometimes I think, why? Why? But you know that if there's something you don't like, ask yourself. And Breakthrough Fear teaches my students this. Why is it happening? It's not just, oh, I just want to change it. No, we say, why is it happening? That's a message. And you can break through that fear and see the value in it. Nothing happens to you. It's happening with and for you and by you. So let's break through fear. I'm going to talk more and more and more about breaking through fear and going into this space of empowerment. And you're going to see miracles. They're happening now. Miracles are happening now. And I'm sending you one. Are you ready for that? Do you receive that? So Digital Explorers, this is a free webinar that'll show you how we're doing this. If it's not your thing, that's fine. You know, just a few emails of your time. These are going to take you into some really cool classes that are coming out. I want to help you to shift into that new space. I hope you'll subscribe. It really supports and helps me to continue to get my word out there. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful. Loving, harmonious, and happy. Pretty cool, huh? Cool stuff, isn't it? We're going to explore it further. Namaste.